Alright, what is up, you guys? So, lately I've been getting requests to do another video on the rare DVDs. So, I figured, it's been a while since I did my top 10 list, and I kind of revised it a little bit. So, now I'm going to do my top 20 with my new list. I'll give you some prices, and there's only a few that I don't have. That's another reason I did want to do this, because I've gotten a lot more rare ones. So, let's start off with number 20. We have Back in Black, the NWO DVD. This one's gone down in price lately, the past few years. There was one point where this was one of the rarest, and now it's kind of gone down in price a bit. You can usually find this, I've seen it go for maybe 20. I think that's how much I paid for mine, maybe 15. So this one has gone down in price, but it is still kind of difficult to snag this one. Next up, we have WrestleMania 2000, the 2-disc set. Really cool DVD. And this one you can usually find anywhere from 20 to 40, depending on your condition. But this is a must-have for every collector. This is a great set. Next, we have Backlash 2001. This one goes for pretty large amounts sometimes. I've seen this thing go for $200 sealed. Unsealed, I've seen it go from anywhere from $20 to $100. It just depends on the seller. Luckily, mine was sent to me. So, because this one is a pretty expensive one, believe it or not. Next up, I have the Roddy Piper 4-disc edition. This one was a Walmart exclusive. Walmart had a lot of 4-disc exclusives, and that kind of goes with the next one as well. The Best of Raw 15th anniversary set, which also had a 4-disc release with the bonus episode of Raw. I could not find these for really low prices. These really do go for pretty high up there. So I don't have a few of these, like I said, and these are two I don't have. I'm just showing these for example. But usually they go somewhere around 40. So, maybe a little bit lower if you can find a good deal there. Next up, we have, this is the WrestleMania 18 DVD. But it also came with the WrestleMania Official Insider's History. This is pretty hard to find. You have kind of a recap of WrestleMania and then like a little bonus disc here. You have the envelope there. Really sought after, really hard to find. Next up, we have the Ultimate Warrior 2-disc Collector's Edition from FYE. This is one that usually you can find anywhere from 20. I've seen it, a sealed one, go for 100. A lot of these, it varies. eBay, some people just don't know what they're selling, which is always a good thing. So, yeah. You can pretty much find this one for pretty cheap if you look in the right places. Next up, we have Kane Journey to Hell. This was an FYE exclusive as well. There's really nothing special about this one. It's just not many were made. That's really all there is to it. You have the match listing here. You can see it's only 5 matches with a, let's see what the runtime, 3-hour runtime. Nothing too special about this DVD, but, it is very hard to find. I actually have mine sealed, which is cool. So, this one I paid $20 for, which was a steal. So, you're probably not going to find it for that amount, but you never know. Next, we have the Royal Rumble 2001. Very sought after pay-per-view. Similar to WrestleMania 19, where a lot of people just don't want to give this one up. They don't trade it in, so it's hard to find in stores. And this one I paid, I think, around 30 or 40 for. That's usually what you're going to pay for this. So, this is a great pay-per-view and a treasure for every collector for sure. Next up, we have Vengeance 2002. This is, along with Judgment Day, this was only released on Shop Zone, so that's why it's so limited. It went out of print very quickly, but, this one's not too hard to find. There's a lot of them out there. They just do go for crazy amounts. I think I paid $60 for this, and I wouldn't recommend paying anything over $60. You can find this for cheap, and when it comes to rarity, cheap. So, $40, $50, $60. I've heard of people, getting lucky with this one and getting it at pawn shops. A lot of this stuff you can find at pawn shops for really cheap. You just got to know where to look, and you got to be lucky a lot of the times. Next up, this is not the actual DVD, but Walmart released an exclusive version of Great American Bash without the cleavage. So it's basically just a close-up of her face. It's this picture zoomed in, basically. This one can go for very large amounts of money. There's actually one on eBay right now for $50. So that's the only one that's on there right now. But yeah, Walmart, they try to sell more family friendly, I guess. And they just didn't like the Tori Wilson exposed, I guess. And next up is the one I plain don't have yet, the Viewer's Choice 2001 DVD. It's a Canadian exclusive, and the reason I don't have it is because there's only one on eBay right now, and it's going for $90, and I'm not paying that. Next up, we have the Eddie Guerrero Tribute. This one is the Raw one. There's also a SmackDown one out there as well. And this I got for $20. But these go for insane amounts of money sometimes. There's a few on eBay right now, no less than 100. So you can see how sought after these are. And these came exclusive with FYE and Best Buy with the Viva La Raza Legacy of Eddie Guerrero DVD. So that's why these are so hard to find, because I believe the Raw one came in the tin, and then the SmackDown one came in the 4-disc edition. So, and it acted as the bonus disc. So I'm including both of those in this number, but this one is the more rare of the two, the Raw one. Basically because it's more sought after. It was a better show. And yes, this is edited. No Benoit. This came out in 2008. So that was back when they really didn't want him involved in their releases. Alright, next up we have WrestleMania 17. This is one of those pay-per-views that, they consider to be the greatest pay-per-view of all time. A lot of people say that. And it's the greatest WrestleMania. And it is my belief that this is the best WrestleMania. So, obviously, this one flew off the shelves, and people kept it. And that's pretty much the big reason why this one is so rare and expensive. It attributes to the quality of the pay-per-view. You have this great cover here. You just have all this great artwork. And just, it's WrestleMania 17. There's nothing to complain about this. So... some people weren't a fan of the Stone Cold heel turn, but the main event's quality really made up for that. But this one really varies. I paid $40 for this copy, and I also found one for $5 at a Suncoast a few years back. So it varies. You just gotta get lucky. And the sealed one, good luck. That's crazy expensive. Next up, we have the Attitude Collection, the Undertaker Phenom DVD. And this one, I paid, I think it was only $50 for this one, which isn't bad considering how rare this one is and sought after it is. Not really quite sure why this is the rarest of the Attitude Collection. The Austin McMahon one's pretty rare as well. But for some reason, this one, it's really up there in prices. I've seen, I shit you not, a sealed one go for $400 one time. Don't ever pay that for this. If you're going to get this one, don't pay over $60. It's kind of hard to find it for under that, but if you look hard enough and you bargain with people, you can get it for cheaper than what it's actually worth. like I did. And then next up we have the Owen Heart of Gold, the banned edition. It's not really banned, but they had problems with this cover, and of course we did originally have this cover, and then it was changed over kind of last minute, and this was accidentally sent out to be sold at Best Buy and Walmart. And I found this on eBay for $50 back in the day. I, to this day, cannot find this thing anywhere else. I go and look every now and then to see what, rare DVDs are going for. And this one's just hard to find. I know Relaxing Ghost has a copy. And I think he's the only one that I know has it as well. So, and he won it from Gemini. We all know that drama I had. I was supposed to win this, but yeah. But yeah, we have, really cool alternate artwork. And I think I do prefer this one over what we got, But I guess the controversy was with his wife, as per usual. So, not really quite sure why, though. Like, what the problem was. It's a great cover, so I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with the heart with the lightning bolt. I don't know. Alright, so now we are in the top 4. Next up, we have the special edition of Trish Stratus. This one was released as an FYE exclusive with the bobblehead. And good luck finding the bobblehead with it. That is very hard to find. But it is out there. But this one, it has a few extras. We have some differences there. We have some extra matches and stuff like that. Nothing too much different. It's still a 1-disc set with the original release. So it's not like it's that worth it. But this one obviously is out there for the rarity of it. So definitely try to get this for under $100. I got lucky. I was able to get it way under $100, but I've seen this thing go for crazy amounts of money. It's pretty crazy how much people are willing to pay for this one. You're looking around somewhere from $100 to $200. I've seen it go for more than that, though. So it's all about who you're buying from. All right, top 3. Next up, we have Judgment Day 2002, the rarest pay-per-view of all time, for obvious reasons, being this was right after WWF went to WWE, so there were distribution issues, so it had to be sold as a Shop Zone exclusive. And for that reason, it went out of print very quickly, like the Vengeance 2002, and it's not even the best pay-per-view in the world. It's just this one is very, very limited. You had to get it from Shop Zone, whether it was from the magazine or the website. So this one is the rarest pay-per-view out there. And you're looking anywhere from maybe $75 to $200. I once saw a sealed one go for $500. And for a lot of these, you have to be careful, because I see more times than not, people think they have the rare version, and they don't, because not all of these are rare. It's only the United States version of this that is rare. The UK or Canadian releases, they go for normal prices. And, I see a lot of the times people think they have the rare version, and that's just not the case. Only the US version, if there's a Canadian sticker down there, not sticker, but Canadian logo with the rating, then you don't have it. So just be careful when you're looking for a lot of these, because the foreign releases are not the actual rare ones, and people will try to gyp you for that. So just be careful there. I hate to see people getting the foreign releases for the US price. It's just sad. People pay large amounts of money for what's basically just fraudulent. Number 2, we have, of course, Raw Homecoming. The reason this one is rare is because this was packaged with WrestleMania 20 as a Walmart exclusive. The slim version of WrestleMania 20, which was also 3 discs, but it was just repackaged into a slim case like this one, like your standard case. And then the Benoit incident happened, and this had to be pulled off the shelf. So there's a very limited amount of these. It's interesting, if the Benoit incident hadn't happened, how rare this would actually be. It probably wouldn't be rare at all. So, yeah, I mean, it still is a Walmart exclusive, so I'm sure it would have been rare to some extent. But, you know, you're looking somewhere around 100, maybe a little bit more than that. This one usually stays pretty usually has the same price as it did years ago. It's usually around 100. It doesn't really fluctuate that much like some of the other ones have. So try to not pay over 100 for this one. If so, they're just trying to scam you. Alright, so number 1, gotta go up here for this one. The WrestleMania Complete Anthology Leather Edition, signed by Vince McMahon himself. And this is number 1. It is limited to 1,000. Mine's 73. And there is actually kind of a more rare edition of this that a lot of people don't know about. Numbers 1 through 30, somewhere around the 30s, were given to the McMahon family and people who worked on it, and they are not signed. So the ones that aren't signed by Vince are actually technically more rare than the ones that are signed by Vince. But, you know, this is the just beautiful leather-bound set, the centerpiece to my collection personally, and it is just so cool to have. And prices of this, the most expensive one I've ever seen was Shane McMahon's personal copy. Pete Gas was actually selling it because Shane had given it to him because they're good friends. He was selling it for $3,000. The normal price you're gonna find for this, kind of a median, is somewhere around $400 to $500. Don't pay more than $500 for this. You know, if you do want to spell $500 as it is. So, yeah, this is a complete treasure, and I love this thing. And the most I've ever spent on a DVD. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have anything to add to this list, definitely go ahead down below. You know, tell me what's some of the great deals you've had for some of these rare DVDs. So I hope you guys enjoyed. This has been the DVD Freak. Peace out.